Now, when I say you need to be bored, I don't mean you have to go out of your way to miss out on your life or the good things you enjoy. But I do think it's really important we understand that there's an art to just being. I think the modern human, especially people my age, get stuck in this cycle. In moments where we have nobody to turn to, nothing of real importance to do, or the motivation to find something new, we find some type of dopaminergic distraction in an attempt to quiet our nagging thoughts and emotions. It might be something you do subconsciously. You might not even think of the consequence of it. You might not even see it as you ignoring yourself. But I really feel like we've all been guilty of this. I made a change in regards to all of this recently. I forced myself to shut off all distractions, isolate myself, and ask myself how I'm feeling in these moments of boredom. Instead of going straight for the phone or a game or things of that nature, I've made a conscious choice to be conscious. And I think it's so easy to lose that deep presence that comes with giving yourself a moment to think and feel things, when at times it feels so much more rewarding to scroll instead. And I'm not saying all people are this way. I'm just speaking from my own experience as someone whose mind always tends to wander. I realized I was not giving my mind the freedom to do that in a constructive way. Everybody's different, but regardless, you can't just ignore yourself, especially if you're a big thinker. You can use your deep thinking as a tool to really process things in an objective way. A lot of people carry the burden of their thoughts and emotions with them every day without ever feeling any clarity towards them. I'm not saying giving yourself the time to feel and think about these things will cure you, but if you truly give yourself the time to process these things and where they came from, you'll have a healthier relationship with yourself. Now, when you do this, you need to make sure you give yourself enough time to ground yourself. I always start by turning off my phone and any other distractions near me. I close my eyes and I get into a comfortable position. I focus my breathing and I pay attention to my body before my mind. Once I found myself in a more grounded state, I ask myself one question. How are you feeling, Nikki? Some days the answers are quite short. Some days I'm there for a half hour trying to sort things out, especially the first few times I really practiced this. I had a lot going on in my life and I didn't really know how to go about it. The key is you don't rush it. I think as modern humans we tend to always feel like we have something to do, and for this you really can't be rushed. If you don't have to worry about time, you begin to pay more attention to what's presently going on in your mind. Bars. I ask that you listen to your thoughts and feel your emotions objectively. They are a part of you, but not all of you. You need to set boundaries with yourself and consciously filter and problem solve in these moments. Sometimes you'll realize some of these things just don't make sense. And that is also part of the process. Learning to live without answers. Never judge yourself in this state, only observe. If you need to separate them as two different people, that's okay too. Whatever you need to do to give yourself the space to really hear what you have to say. This is going to take work. It's going to take conscious effort and being vulnerable with yourself. You also have to be ready to face these thoughts and feelings, because in this state you're no longer running from them, but you're staring them directly in the face. It can be scary, but a lot of the times when you give yourself opportunity to be present with these things instead of throwing them all in the trunk, you realize it's just a little part of you and you do have power over a lot of these things. So my final messages to you is, if you can remain conscious of what enters your mind at a moment's notice, you can guide any of the thoughts, feelings, or emotions that permeate at will. Anyways, thank you for listening. My name's Nick or Nikki, whatever you want to call me. I'm just kind of spitballing, but I hope if you're listening, you got something out of this. Be safe.